Hello there. What's going on, everyone? Today we're going to be unboxing the Darksaber from Hasbro's Black Series. This is the same Darksaber you've seen in the Mandalorian. Well, maybe not the exact same one, but we're going to be unboxing this one, trying it out, and doing the full demo display. We'll compare it to some other lightsabers as well. Also, if you guys are new here, we are still doing 12 Days of Life Day, and we're giving away a lightsaber. You just have to be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my videos. It's as simple as that. If you like what you see, I've got lots more collectibles, helmets, lightsabers, all that kind of stuff, as well as tabletop Star Wars gaming. Lots of that stuff here on the channel. I'd love to have you check the links in the description below. But with all that being said, let's go ahead and unbox the Darksaber. All right, so first thing up, we are going to take a look at the box here. I'll show you guys a little bit of this. This is the Force FX Elite series from Hasbro. Elite series have really been stepping it up in almost every category, as including price. This thing was very, very expensive, but looks like they've also kicked it up a notch here with the inclusion of the batteries, or rather a rechargeable battery. So you're not going to go through tons and tons of AA's. I did have a problem with one of my first Black Series lightsabers where the batteries started leaking, and then I had to scrape battery acid out of my Luke Skywalker lightsaber. So it'd be nice to see rechargeable battery here, although that could be inopportune if it goes dead at the wrong time, like right in the middle of a duel with Moff Gideon and Din Djarin here, the Mandalorian. We've got his helmet also reviewed on the channel, so if you haven't already, check that out. I'll put some links kind of over here towards the end of the video so you can check those out, but usually when I do helmet reviews, I let you try them on, so that's pretty cool. So I kind of give you the whole interactive experience. Of course, this is the Mandalorian Darksaber, Force FX Elite Lightsaber. So very cool. We got some graphics here on the top, and we do have that angled box, right, to kind of make it feel cooler, I guess. I don't really know why we need that. It probably makes it more difficult to ship because you can still takes up a full rectangle, so I don't know, but I mean, it makes it look cool, I guess. All right, we've got a picture of the display stand. Of course, yes, the blade is removable on this, and then here's it with the blade kind of attached, and they're kind of giving you some of the specs here. The bright white LED. We've got the progressive ignition, so it's gonna, go kind of simulate it actually igniting. And yeah, and so and I believe it's gonna do kind of like if you're cutting through, it's gonna do some kind of effect like that too. So we'll take a look at all of that. Let's get this thing opened up. All right, I'm just gonna kind of slide it out this way. All right, so I've now got this thing out. It's interesting, they put a little bit of graphic stuff work on just like the eggshell container part that's just holding everything in. You're gonna probably throw this out, but they really wanted to kind of up the presentation on this one. We've got our stand here. This is, I believe, the holder to hold the base, and so if you want to have it displayed, you can go there. And a lot of the latest of the Force FX Elite have been coming with these, and so that's a new thing. It makes it nice, although the problem is, even though you can put them on these stands, you still have to find a place for the blade. So that much is pretty funny. We've got some other little bits here. Let me, I guess, cut some of these out. Probably, you know what? I'm just gonna let me flip this around and pull everything out from the other side. All right. So I've gone around and kind of disconnect. Woo! Heavy saber. So this thing is it's real heavy. I think this is the heaviest hilt yet. That's very cool. We've got our little button right there as this. Oh, and this is also a button. So we have two buttons here. So we got one. Oh, and apparently there's power in the battery already because the light came on. Although it looks kind of dim. I might go charge it here before going too much further with the review. We do have a little screw key here, and then also right here. So I think this is for taking this part off to attach the blade. But yeah, you're really getting some different types of grays in here, and this is nice, and it's kind of got a little pattern to it, so it's really easy to grip, which is really nice. And of course, you can get two hands on this as well. Very cool. And this is all beneath the guard here, and this is of course a lot shinier. It looks like there was a little dust on it in the box. I pre-ordered this thing like over a year ago, so it's crazy that it just showed up now, even though it said it was supposed to arrive like this past summer. So, you know, strange. You know, other stores got it before Hasbro did, which was really weird too, but you know what? But whatever. It's the way it works sometimes. All right, so that's nice. We've got the blade here. Oh, this is super cool. So this is where it connects. And that's what's going to go in. You're probably not going to see much of that. The blade is all black on the side. And it is got what looks to be the white light through part in here. It doesn't look like there's any like lightning effects going on in here, though I wonder if you could, if you were really an entrepreneurial type of you know, person, wanted to kind of scrape some stuff in there. I don't think I would dare do that, because I probably would screw it up, and then I just wasted everything. We've got our instruction booklet and our extra little bits here, which is our little hex key and our USB plug. So that's pretty cool. We have some instructions here, and you can pop this thing out. I guess you have to undo this with the hex key, and then you can pop out the battery pack. So let's try and charge this thing up a little more and see how it looks once it's all fired up. And I'm going to show you guys with like the lights bright and then also under dimmer light too, so you get the full effect. Also, one note about the battery here: after you undo this screw, this just kind of pops out pretty easily, and we've got our little USB plug right there. And so you don't have to take the whole thing. You can just go plug this in, and then you can still kind of just keep this wherever on display, and then take this whole thing and plug it back in once you're done. Pretty cool. All right, so fast forward a little bit. I let this thing charge a little bit more. I wasn't sure if it really needed to, but for this video, I wanted to make sure that it had at least a 50% charge. I don't know, I gave it a half an hour to extra charge. It still has the same light when you push this button. Doesn't do anything else with either of the two buttons while it's plugged in. But I did unscrew this little screw right here with the Allen wrench. I'm gonna set that right there, and we can then begin to take all of this off. So this part is gonna slide out. Now this is either, I think this is like maybe a really hard ceramic. I don't think it's, it sounds a little bit more, it could be metal, but maybe it's just in a ceramic kind of paint. And then we have this part right here. This is our, just the kind of part that is the top. And once we go in there, we can see the insides of it, where the little connectors are and all of that. Now you could use this as a lightsaber. I think there might have been a little bit of oil or something there to help it slide on nice and easy. I'm not sure. But yeah, so pretty cool. Then we take the blade portion, and we're gonna slot that right in. And of course, you know, it's pretty self-explanatory. This part goes to the light. Be careful when you're doing this though, because this is just a thin little film cover, so that could potentially come off really easy. And then I believe this whole piece goes back over, so we have to do all of that, and then boom, and there we go. Now it's slotted on, and we'll go ahead and put it on the stand too once at the end of the video to see how it looks on the stand, and I'm gonna just tighten this thing back up. I kind of like doing it this way, easier. And that's the only thing I wish, you know, all of the improvements that they're making, I wish they would come up with an easier key system, because I think the best key system is Disney's, how you just stick the, at Galaxy's Edge, you just stick the blade in and then twist it a little bit and it locks in. Because this is definitely not something I'm going to be fighting with. This is just for photos and for role play and things like that, or display. So yeah, there it goes. And now we're going to see, okay, so this is not the power button. This one right here, I believe, is the power button. Ooh. It's definitely the most quiet of all the sabers, but at least it has its own sound. This is like is this the first Hasbro Black Series that has like a new sound card in it? Oh, and it does have, and yes, it does, you can tell. Okay, let's turn it off. All right, you have to hold it, maybe? Okay, turn, yeah, so all right, let's try that again. Oh. Okay, so it sounds very much in the way that the Darksabers actually sounds on both the animated and live action shows. So very cool. Let's take a look at the whole thing, and we'll kind of compare this a little bit to some other sabers as well. All right, so here we go. Take a double-handed grip of this thing, and we're gonna fire it up. Oh yeah. So graphically, it looks really good when it comes on. Very cool. It's awfully quiet. And an interesting thing is your hand naturally wants to hold directly over the speaker. So that's a little bit of a problem. It's still okay for collector's purposes, but like if you're cosplaying with this or whatever, if you're play dueling, like slow fighting, it's not gonna sound as good, especially compared to another saber. So that's kind of a bummer. Here we got Mauls, because you know, whatever. Because I like Maul and Maul. Like that's way louder. Right? So yeah, way louder on Mauls. Or basically every other Hasbro Black Series saber. So that's interesting. Now we have the other button here too, so this is going to do some cool effects. So if we tap the other button, that's just me tapping it. So tap, tap, and so that does a little flash, and it's like deflecting, or maybe just I don't know, really probably just deflecting laser bolts. You don't really see that happen as much with the Darksaber. If we hold it down, though, it's going to do that thing that a lot of the deluxe ones do, and that's you see that right there? That's where we're cutting through. Like Moff Gideon kind of sticking his Darksaber up through the TIE fighter to cut himself out. Or like Liam Neeson when he's cutting through the wall at the beginning of episode 1. So that's a cool effect. And for as long as you hold that down, it's going to keep that happening. I notice on mine the tip doesn't have like maybe an LED directly at the tip. It's good enough that the light's still showing through. Now, another interesting thing about these, I mean, it looks good like from a distance, but if you look directly up close at it, you really can see each individual LED. So it's just like that LED strip. So a little bit different than some of the NeoPixel blades that are out there. So you can definitely see it, especially if you're holding it, because as I'm holding it, I'm looking down on it like so, right? And so, but if you're looking at it from the side, where I think a lot of your viewers, if you're cosplaying or something like that, is how it's going to look. Let's turn the lights down a little bit, and I'll do a little comparison in the dark versus during swinging around in the light. I mean, it's still pretty bright. You can still see this from pretty far away. I think that's pretty cool. But let's see how it looks with lights a little dimmer. All right, so now it's much darker in here. You can see this little light is definitely going on a little bit brighter. And here we go. And woo, that's a lot brighter. This will be a really fun one. Like, I love to, every Halloween, I like to go around with a lightsaber. I was Darth Maul this year. I was like Darth Vader a year or two before that. It was just like Jedi robes like Obi-Wan Kenobi before that. I just like taking Black Series lightsabers around with me too, because trick-or-treating at night and stuff like that, it gets dark. What a great holiday gift this would be, something like this for somebody who is really a big fan of Star Wars, the Clone Wars, Star Wars Rebels, or the Darksaber. Oh man, look at this, like right, it's lighting me up too. This looks pretty cool, and I'm not using effects, all right? So this is really how it looks. This is pretty awesome. And if you twist it a little bit too, it kind of does some of that. See, I'm wiggling it. It looks kind of dirty. Never mind. Let's try some of the other effects. And then holding it. Yeah. So you still get the same effects with the lights out, but I just thought I'd show you guys some of that. Now, how bright is this compared to other blades? I've got, let's see, we about the same. You're losing a lot of the area. No, it's definitely brighter because it's white, but it's kind of tempered because of the fact that it's covered up so much. So that's kind of cool. Also, what comparison would be complete without being compared to the much cheaper $30 kids version of the Darksaber? Of course, that one's actually pretty fun. And it's funny that this one is way, way louder than that one too. I don't think you buy it for the sound card, but it's a shame that the first one that gets a brand new sound card is so quiet. So I also said I would show you guys how it looks in the display stand, and this is virtually the same display stand we have with just about every other lightsaber. Usually it's only this bottom piece that's different to kind of hold other individual components, and of course it's going to fit in very nicely there. So this is how you might display it on your shelf. Can it go the other way too? Yeah, I guess you can kind of display it either way, whichever you want. This way does hide the buttons, so I guess that's definitely up to your personal display preferences. So that's pretty fun. One thing that's interesting is this light kind of stays on. And I want to point something out too. I left this screw out here because I'm going to play with it some more after the video's over. But make sure you definitely put your screws back in. When I have like multiples of these guys lined up, they all come with extra little pieces. So one thing you can do, like don't lose this, right? I mean, some of you might have extras of these, but I like to just kind of keep them right there on the stand. And especially some of the other sabers that have customizable pieces or extra little like kyber crystals that come out and things like that. I kind of keep those there. If you have a larger collection, maybe just get a big Ziploc bag and put them all in. So this way the display stand's not cluttering everything up, but or come up with some kind of storage solution. If you do have some, I'd love to hear what your storage solutions are. So, final thoughts on the Darksaber. It bears a hefty price tag. It is not cheap, and that's, I don't think, a trend that we're going to see change anytime soon. Lightsabers from Hasbro are becoming more and more expensive. They used to be about $100. They're going up and up and up. So all the more reason to enter to win a lightsaber. The details for that are on Crabbok.com, so you can do that. All you have to do is basically be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my videos. It's as simple as that. But no, this is it's a beautiful piece. It's absolutely stunning. I love the design of it. I love its look. I love the look of how it looks when it's ignited. I love the fact that it has a new sound card. It's disappointing that the volume is so low and that the speaker gets covered up by your hand. If they had just moved the speaker up higher, maybe you'd be less likely, because usually you're going to grip it right here, and your grip's going to kind of, I think, a lot of times stop where this guard sort of ends. And so just simply slotting the speakers up higher would have probably been an improvement. I also love the rechargeable battery option. I can turn this off right now. I love the rechargeable battery option. It's definitely something I wish every lightsaber had, although if you wanted to do a massive battle royale, which I will sometimes do when the kids' friends come over, although I don't think they're gonna be able to touch this one. But then it would be kind of a bummer if you had to suddenly charge like 8 lightsabers all at once. And that's one of the advantages of like just, you know, AA batteries, but still, in those times, then you have to still pull out a screwdriver and, like, you know, start disassembling them all and then, you know, popping the battery compartments across. That's also very, very cumbersome. So I generally prefer the USB chargeable lightsabers. You still have to use a chuck key to gain access to it, so it's imperfect, but I would rather thumb screws or something like that, or just a kind of pop, you know, or, you know, some kind of easier access would be preferable to me, but this is definitely a step in the right direction. Quality is way up. The sound card is great. The blade looks cool. I like the design decisions they went with for the blade. I'm glad they didn't sort of kind of do anything like this, because that, you know, while is cool, it's not exactly screen accurate. This is more indicative of kind of like the Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels, and this is more indicative of like maybe how a real life Darksaber might look. So I very much like this. I like the stand. I just like everything about how it's going to look as a display piece, and I like the weight of it. It feels really good too, and it just kind of hits on all marks, especially with Mandalorian being so popular and Book of Boba Fett coming out soon. So, you know, if you like this and you want to see more, I invite you to subscribe, stick around, watch more videos. I've got playlists for collectibles. If you go to Crabbok.com, I've got a lot of them over there as well. So be sure to check that out. But I'm curious, what does the Mandalorian think? This is the way. I want to thank all my subscribers. Thanks for all the patrons, for all of your support. I want to thank you all for watching. Be sure to stick around. Happy holidays to everybody. I want to thank you all so much for watching. And as always, oh, it shines in the helmet. Look at that. That's groovy. Have a great day. Today we are going to be doing the Today we're going to be dingoing the dingoing. We're going to be dingoing.